Yeah, the whole snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Oh, yeah,
But,
well, except for that.
Yeah. Well, that's the last I remember. So, and working from there, I've had some really good progress in...
What was that line, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat? Is that what you said?
Did I just say that? Yeah. It's working already. It's interesting. Yeah,
Esther says she shines in a crisis. And we say the reason that she shines in a crisis is because the crisis makes her focus.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what we were talking about there, is that when it really matters, you'll focus. And if you understand how to focus, then those higher stakes become really, 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 really fun.
And the stakes are pretty damn high right now.
Are they?
So, yeah, folks.
Is the sun going to stop shining?
It's not about the sun.
Then you've got nothing.
It's a smaller word. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know. It certainly seems bigger than the sun right now.
Trust us, it isn't.
But I understand. I get that, and yet it's something I really want. And it's very important to me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And you get to want what you want.
Yeah.
And it gets to be important, and you get to have it.
And so
We're just trying to put it in sort of a priority.
And just make it happen.
Yeah.
You
don't make anything happen. You already made it happen because contrast caused you to put it in the vortex.
You're
so
right. So it made it happen, but I'm trying to attract it to me.
Do you believe in the vibrational version?
That's interesting when you say, do you believe in it? I believe that when I stick my hand in water, I can feel the wetness of water.
Do you believe Do you believe that vibration is the basis of the universe? Have you had enough personal evidence of that?
Probably, but like I say, how I know the wetness of water, I don't know that I've been to that point to absolutely say unequivocally that vibration is the basis of the universe.
Have you ever...
Now, technically and scientifically, I can look at it... What? Yeah. So, yeah.
So, you believe... So words don't teach, is that what you're telling us?
Pretty much.
That is life experience that teaches.
Correct.
And so
Correct.
as you have exposure to life, then the consistency of things like physics, in other words, water, blessed water, is nearly always wet.
Well, it feels wet in one form when it's in its liquid form. In its solid form, it has another feel, and in its vapor form, it has a whole nother.
But it's consistent, and so you've come to trust it. You've come to trust.
Yes.
You've come to trust it. So this is what we're asking you to begin doing relative to. This is why we offer the laws of the universe as we know them to be in as easy to understand format as we can,
right.
So that as you hear it and get caught up in the vibrational momentum of what we know to be, that then as life reveals itself to you in accordance with those laws, then you have that knowing as well.
Right.
So when we say, do you believe in the vibrational version of something, it's really important that you come to believe in the vibrational version of it, because the vibrational version always exists before there is a manifested version of it. And if you can come to believe in the vibrational version of it and be satisfied with the emotional feeling, in other words, you're telling us that you know the reality of water by something that you're translating into a feeling on your skin. Mm-hmm. And we want you to know that you can test and know and prove to yourself the vibration, your mix of vibrations, the vibration of your vortex of reality in relationship to the vibration of what's going on with you in any moment, by the way it feels. Right. And that in the same way that water translates into something that feels wet on your skin, alignment translates into your solar plexus into something that feels like love or ease or eagerness, and while doubt translates into something that feels very different from that. And
recently I've had a really good feeling, a vibrational feeling, just an emotional feeling, a couple of weeks ago on a drive down to San Diego with some friends. I was in such a centered, blissful state just looking at, when you've made mention in some past things about the well-being of the planet is basically hinging on the point of source connection of every living thing, and what man, can do to fuck it up is overcome by all of that that's alive in here. And man, I just got such a connection to that, looking out the window at the plants and the ocean and having this realization of all the life that is around. Wow, what is that about? That's my next question is, I start doing stuff like this and then I want to start crying.
Well, it's about...
And, he laughed, he cried, and then we put him away for a while, And so anyway, it was such a beautiful place. And then about a week or so ago in my mastermind group, when we're doing our check-in, and all I had to report is that it's all done. I really felt I was in a place of nothing else needs to be done. It's done. But
that feeling that you're feeling, when that blissful feeling that you're feeling is you are focused upon the well-being, that feeling is alignment. And then that dip that you're feeling, the sort of choking you up a little bit, that's a slight attention to the absence of something wanted, or a sensation of not being quite there, not quite getting. Why can't I be here all the time? Why can't I always be in this high-flying good place? And we want to say to you, you don't need to always be in it, because now you've tasted both. You can just lean in one direction, the direction that pleases you most. And the thing that we most want you to hear, this is the piece that you are looking for, and that is the positive embracing of negative emotion. Let's just rest with that for a minute. The positive embracing of negative emotion. My guidance system is working because this is how I mold the clay. In other words, in the same way that you might want to get your hands in the clay and you might want to feel what you're doing with them, you want to get your hands in this vibrational clay and feel what you're doing with them. And so it's fine-tuning is what it's about. It's fine-tuning. Esther, often she'll be talking about Jerry and she'll find herself sort of weeping a little with whoever she's talking about. And she goes like this, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm not sad, I'm not sad, I'm not sad, she insists. And she means it. I'm not sad. This is just a tender moment. I'm not sad. I'm not sad. This isn't grief you're seeing. This isn't pain you're seeing. I'm not sad. This is just a tender moment. And that's sort of, in other words, your emotions are your clay. And you want to get a handle on them. You want to learn to direct them. And you're doing very well. So we're going to stop talking now and let you talk, because you expect to get some good work done here. Let's do it.
Okay. So anyway, it kind of boils down to where's my stuff, but doesn't it always?
It kind of boils down to where's my stuff, but don't you want to say, but I'm way past that? Don't you want to say that? Say that.
I'm way past that.
I'm way past. All right, so
but
that.
I am. Wait. I said it first. We're having fun, right?
You always got the front seat, didn't you? So this vibrational reality that we're talking about, that we're trying to get you to acknowledge your awareness of. So if there's a vibrational reality, we know that if this time-space reality has caused you to want it, that this time-space reality has to give it to you. And if it's stalled out, as our friend said, if it's slower than you want it to be, it can be for only one reason. You're looking where it isn't instead of feeling where it is. And that's why if we can distract you from the need for the manifestation in order to have your celebration, if we can distract you from the need to see it before you feel it, if you can feel it before you see it, then, you see, we think a lot of people are afraid if they feel it before they see it, then the universe will say, well, he's feeling it and never mind. But it doesn't work out that way. If you can feel it before you see it, it must come, and it will bring with it new contrasts that will make you feel further for it. In other words, you're not ever going to get it done.
Well, here's the difficult part for me, or the part that I need a little clarification with, is that there are certain things that I'm doing that I feel like I've created, that I've designed a life that I want to have, that I'm working on this stuff to move forward to create this dream that I have.
Did you do it thought or action? Did you do it with?
Well, you always
did you
think
do it
first.
through? Did you? But We're just asking you, how did it come about? In other words, when you were in the process of that, were you aware of emotion? Were you molding your emotion?
I felt great about it.
Were you deliberately offering thoughts in order to affect your emotion, or were you more in an action-oriented behavior?
Offering thoughts to affect emotion. You know, that's a good question. It's kind of like chicken or the egg.
No, it isn't. Because we are asking you, then did you know about vibration? Then were you thinking about law of attraction?
No.
Then,
but that doesn't mean that I wasn't doing it. I wasn't happy, and then I decide, I had a thought of, oh, this would be nice. This is making me happy. This is what I want to do. I'm following this because I like it. I'm happy and I'm joyful and I feel energetic, and it's a powerful thing. And like, the house, I mean, goddamn, I've lived in that house I don't know how many times. I've walked through those rooms. I've seen people in there. We've had great times in that place. And, we're going to lose it. Fuck. Choice of income. I've had such moments of clarity at it. And just can't fucking make it happen.
Well, do you think that can you feel momentum in...
Well, why, huh? Great.
Can you... It's all right. They're all on your side. Can
you see, that's the thing. It's something that's so beautiful and wonderful, and I can't get there. And I've had this stuff. I've had these moments, and it's felt complete. And yet, when I go to do what it is that I want to do to make it happen, there's no fucking connection. It's hit the wall, fall down, hit the wall, fall down.
Well, that's because you're leading with action instead of with vibration. Well, and it's natural that you would be, because you're sort of in a reactionary state. But the reason that we are sort of starting with the annoying questions about vibration is because we just want to say the way you've been approaching it has led you to something that you would deem not where you want to be. Mm-hmm. But where you stand right now, we don't see as a place that you don't want to be, because we understand the bounce that you're going to get out of it, or the bounce that you've already gotten out of it. We understand the bounce and what has now happened in the vortex, that as you relax and allow it to come about, is not just going to soothe you, it's going to sort of send you to the moon in the sense of your understanding that you are a deliberate creator and that you can turn things around. It's hard when you're in the middle of a downward momentum slide. It's hard to bless the momentum that feels like it's carrying you. Mm-hmm. But in the same way that we were asking you to be happy about law of attraction, or that we would ask you to be happy about gravity, even if it's in a moment that you're falling out of an airplane with no parachute. Still, if you can step back from the specifics of what you're living and acknowledge that gravity in and of itself is a very good thing, and it serves you much more than it hinders you, even in an uncomfortable moment, and that law of attraction is a very good thing and it serves you even in an uncomfortable moment, that you can take the bounce from the discomfort that you're living right now and understand that it not only can, but certainly will lead you to something that is much more satisfying, and that it could turn around as soon as right now if we could convey it to you in a way that you could really feel it. But again, words don't teach. Mm-hmm. So
they help, but
Say again?
I say they help, but the actual experience. I mean, I work or learn things best in a journeyman apprentice environment anyway.